Okay, so again, everyone, welcome to Kailul Kol Shira in partnership with Breslov Darok. Today, we're going to see a beautiful mitzvah, V'ahavta l'reacha kamoicha. What more beautiful mitzvah than there is than that? And Rabbi Akiva said, V'ahavta l'reacha kamoicha zeh klal godol b'Torah. That's a great, great klal in all of Torah. I remember when I was learning Masechta Sanhedrin, the Gemara says, V'ahavta l'reacha kamoicha, you learn out Misa Yafa. Right, when you have to chas shalom, if the person does something and he transgressed one of the negative commandments that he has to get, one of the arba misas bezdin, so you do it in the nicest and most humane way, right? Amazing. But let's see, we don't have the bezdin today. We don't have the way to like we were learning before about the chiach hasamisecha. We're not involved in these things. So let's see where this mitzvah really came from, and let's see what it's about. So the Rebbe says like this: Kol habriya kula meleya nitzchias. The whole bria, the whole creation, all of the creation is meleya nitzchias, is full of eternity, of victory. We know that everything in this world was created from the four yesaidas. And what are the four yesaidas? The four foundations. And what are the four foundations? Eish, fire; mayim, water; ruach, wind; ofar is dirt. What? And someone said something? Okay, but b'klal hanivrim. And included in the Nivrim Haim, Doimeim, we have inanimate objects, Tsemeach, all plant life, vegetations, Chai, which is all living animals, fish, birds, insects, anything is part of Chai. And then we have Midaber. And then we have Midaber, which is our human beings. All right, the Kuzari says that there's actually a fifth category called Nefesh Klolius Yisrael. All right, but anyway, either way, there's these four, the Eish, Mayim, Ruach, and Ofar, are corresponding to the Doimim, Semeach, Chayim, Adaber. The Kulam Haim, Hafuchim, Zelazeh, and each one is opposite. It's Hafuch, it's upside down. Well, that's what Hafuch means, but this is really up. It's really keneged each other. Zelazeh, Zeh Cham, V'Zeh Kar. One is hot, the sun is hot, and then you have the mayim, which is cold. Mayim is kar, right? And you have the wind is kar. Zeh lach, v'zeh yovesh. One is moist, wet, like the water, v'zeh yovesh, and one is dry, like the offer, like the dirt. V'chol echad me'ayisoidos misgabe b'kol choychoy livli lizvatel ligamrei neged chaverei. And each one of these yisoidos, it works so hard to not be mevatel, to not nullify his chaveret, but it's his counterpart in creation. Kigoyin yisoida eish neged yisoida mayim. Fire is constantly fighting that it shouldn't, so to say, dry up the water. Right? Neged yisoida mayim v'chein behepech. And the opposite. And the water is working that it shouldn't put out the fire. You understand? Each one of the midas is strong by themselves. And each one of the midas wants to put out the next one. But it works so hard. The Eish works so hard to not put out the water and not to dry up the water with the fire. And the water works so hard to not put out the Eish with its moisture. It could put out the Eish. But they all have to work very hard. But chas v'shalom, if one would work harder than the next one and push out the next one. Kigon yisoida eish tzarich lizgaber b'kol koichay. Shelo yizbatel neged yisoida mayim. The Eish has to work so hard to not to put out the water. Kidei shelo yiskarer habal chayim b'yamos. Because if not, If not, if we didn't have the water to cool down the fire, we would be too cold. It would be too cold. With us, we need the fire. We need the fire. If not, it would be too cold for Baal Chaim, and we would die. If we didn't have the heat of the sun, right? If we didn't have the heat of the sun, we couldn't live in the world. It would be too cold, and human beings couldn't survive. I mean, look at how it is. Even in when it comes to the winter, look what happens when the sun, is not shining as much. Look how cold it can get. Look at that. It's amazing. It's mamish amazing. And the sun is just such a fraction away from the earth. It's mamish a fraction. And you see it. It's unbelievable. Zeneged Yisayim. Okay. Aval Chalila Gam Kein Liskabe Yosim Midai Ki Oz Gam Kein Yisbatel Baal Chaim V'Yamos Meiroi V'Chamimus. But if the Mayim wasn't there, so then the world would perish from the Chamimus of the sun. Right? We understand it all the time that there's always the water is evaporating, and that's where the humidity comes from. I understand. And that's when, and the humidity cools the air. It cools the air, and we need all of that. Nimsa Shim Yinatseach es Chaveira Yoisem Midai, Oz Yinatseach Gam es Atzmai. So if one would put out the other one, if the fire would get rid of the fire, would be too strong and put out the water, it would actually be damaging the fire itself, and so would the water damage the water if they would put it out with the fire, and so on and so on. B'chol zeh nimshach b'sharshan, ki Hashem yisbarach bara kol habriya b'shvil hanitzcha in the kedusha. Really, HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the whole bria. He created everything of creation. All of the different worlds and all of the different galaxies and everything else he made so that we can have maybe menatseach of kedusha. Kedusha can be success, can be victorious. Shu bechinas koyach habechira shebadam, and that's the koyach habechira that a person has. Our free choice, Shebishvil zeh hayeh kol habriya. So that we can have free choice and to figure out what we have to do. That's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the whole Bria, because He wanted us to be able to have free choice. Vika bechira hu bechinas nitzchan. And the main point of bechira is, of free choice, is for us to conquer, to be menatseach, to conquer. Hainu masha taivas roitzim l'mainai miderech hachayim. Because there are different taivas, there are different desires, worldly pleasures, that wants to so much so take us away from life. What's the perfect example? The perfect example is this. If a person finds out Le'aleinu he's a diabetic, right? Hashem should give everyone a refuah shalema, right? So then the Yetzer Hara tells him, no, but you like chocolate cake so much. You like chocolate cake so much. You like a milkshake so much. You like whatever, ice cream, or whatever it is. So, but why would the person ever think, wait a second, the doctor told me if I eat this, it's going to make me sick. So why would I want it? Why would anyone want to do that? Why would anyone want to do it? Because the whole point, Chevra, is we have to be the nitzchias of kedusha. See, the Yetzer Hara doesn't want us to be to be healthy, because if we're healthy, we can do mitzvahs. When we're healthy, we can go to shul. We can scream out Amen Yehei Shmei Rabbah. We can say Baruch Hu Es Hashem HaMavorach. Right? We can sing to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We can say Tehillim. We can do mitzvahs. The Yetzer Hara doesn't want us to be menatseach on the mitzvahs. He doesn't want us to be menatseach on the kedusha. That's why HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us the bechira. Yeah, you ever wonder why anyone would ever make a decision to do something when they know it's counter to their health? Why would anyone do that? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us bechira. It's up to the person to choose to do the right thing and to be healthy. It's unbelievable. Min derech hachayim v'hu miskaba aleim letzeach oisam, and the Yetzer comes to knock us down, and he doesn't want the person to be successful. He doesn't want it. Machma shezeh shayrish kol abriya, because that's the whole shayrish of Briya's kedusha. V'alkein bar Hashem yisbarach is a Briya mipulois, mishunois, mizeh mioid, and therefore HaKadosh Baruch Hu made so many different systems that are opposite the other systems. The kulam menatzchim zeh zeh, and each one's trying to put out the other one. Avalika kiyum hu mishkanit kishanitzchen shalahem hu kirotzain abayri is barach. The main thing is when the one that's victorious is victorious the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu wanted it to be. Think about it for a second. Do you ever have a chance to go to let's say the beach, and you watch the water, coming up on the shore, right? And do you ever wonder, you see those big giant waves, and they're coming in, and they break right at the water, and they go back. Do you ever wonder, wait a second, how come that water doesn't make its way out of the ocean and flood the beach? That's part of Bria. This is what we're saying. In other words, Bria, everything, the water is so strong. The water has the ability, the wave is so strong, it has the ability to flood the earth. But we say every morning, we say that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is keeping the waters from flooding. That's what we say every morning, right? And we say that in our brachas every morning. And this is what we have to understand. Aval hanitzchen tzarech lias be'emes lamitei b'shvil ratzon Hashem yisbarach, b'shvil kiyam ha'olam. You have to be menatzeach in order to keep the world in existence. V'loi nitzchen shel sheker b'shvil kivoid v'tayvus ha'olam hazeh. Don't be successful because you want honor. Honor belongs to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gets all the honor. Right? We say, right, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gets all the honor in the world. It's not upon us. We don't need the honor. All the honor, we give it to Hashem and the taivus, all the worldly desires. Shezeh nitzchen shehu arisus ha'olam chasron. Those things are coming to uproot the world. Va'afilu im nireh sheloi shekavona b'midas nitzchaynai. Who? 1 second here. Who b'shvila emes, and if you think that you're trying to do something because of the emes, afal pi shebezet trichim lias chazak miyoid, afal pi chen tzarich listakel heitiv shaloi yagia churban v'arisa chas v'sholem. Like we were learning before in the other shir, whatever you're trying to do, don't make churban, don't make an upheaval in the world. Al yedei zeh ki sonui hamachloikis v'godol hasholem. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu hates machlokes and how great shalom is. Al kein tzrichen l'shtadel l'mayit v'machlokes b'chol mad efsher. And therefore we have to try to always put out machlokes any way we can. V'afilu im nidmed lo shechoylek l'Hashem shemayim. And even if you feel that your argument that you're making is for heaven's sake, Mikol shekein shekarech listakel alatzmai eitiv im kavanosai be'emes. Look at yourself and see if my kavana, see if my intent is truly truthful. Rak l'shem shemayim ki alev yadeya im le'ekel im le'kalkulos. Because the heart knows if you're doing it in a crooked way, you're trying to do it like that. Aval v'alkein ahavas chaveim yoker ma'oid miyoid, and therefore loving of our friends is the most precious thing. Is yoker ma'oid, says the Rebbe. Kamar v'seinu zal v'hafta l'reiacha kamaycha, like it is in a parsha. Zeh klal gadol b'Torah. Rabbi Akiva taught us that. Kikol b'nei adam mishunim b'deyoseam zemi zeh, because each person has totally different ideas and different I don't know, systems and different ways of thinking and the different political parties and all that stuff. Everyone has so different ways of thinking. His mazgus hayasaidis, because that's the mixture of the yasaidis. Like we were saying, the eish, the mayin, the offer, right? The ruach, right? And there's the everything is mixing. Everything is trying to mix. Okay? Because in this person has this yisaid that's strong with him. And therefore that person turns to this way, right? If a person is, let's say, a person who likes to get upset, right? The person's a balkas, right? The person's a balkas. So if the person's a balkas, so he should know it's coming from the side of fire, right? Knowing it's coming from the side of fire. Chazal teach us where it says in Hilchas Shabbos, Lo yisavaru eish b'chol ma shv'seichem. Don't make a fire in your heart. Don't fight against other people. Don't fight against other people. One of the nice things that I'm teaching in the other classes that I'm giving is we're learning the Sefer Lekutei Eitzos, and we're in the chapter of, we're just finishing actually today, the chapter of Kas, the chapter of anger, right? So the Rebbe says over there an amazing thing I want to share with you. You know, many times we're with friends, we're with family, and somebody says something to us, and we really get verhitzt, right? We really get upset. The Rebbe says you should know that time, that whatever that person said to you, why did they say it to you? Because in Shemayim right now, there's coming to you a huge, huge profit. You're supposed to get something givaldic. Your stocks are supposed to go up. Your dividends are going to come in. Whatever it is, I don't know. Whatever you like to understand. And in a Shemayim, what they do is they said the other side sets up this thing that you should get challenged, because you should get challenged via this situation. You should get challenged, and then you get upset. But then if you get upset, some of the Shemayim, they say, hey, wait a second, he's not zeicha to this thing, and they take it away from him. Again, like we're saying over here, the Sitra Acher, he likes so much when there's machlokes in the world. But the Torah is teaching us this week. The Torah is teaching v'ahavta l'reacha kamoicha zeh klal gadol b'Torah, and that's the most important thing I think we could learn, and to always understand that everybody is coming from a different situation. Like we're learning over here, everyone has different tendencies. Everyone has different ideas and different beliefs and different systems in their life, whatever it is. And to understand that really it's all a test min hashemayim. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is always trying to see if we're going to choose the right thing. And the most important thing that gives the Rebbeinu Shalom the most nachas is when there is ve'ahavta l'reacha kamoicha zeh klal gadol b'Torah. And you know that the Arizal says that before we daven in the morning, right? Before we daven in the morning, we're supposed to say this idea that harini mekasha alai mitzvos tasei shels ve'ahavta l'reacha kamoicha. I take upon myself this great mitzvah of ve'ahavta l'reacha kamoicha. The Arizal says by doing that, what are we actually accomplishing? We're accomplishing bringing all the Klal Yisrael together. By bringing Klal Yisrael all together, the Shechina gets together more. And the Shechina is more connected with Klal Yisrael, because I love all of Klal Yisrael. And via doing that, that's the best way for any tefillas to be answered. And all of us need Yeshuas and Refuas. Everybody needs a different kind of Yeshua, a different kind of Refuah in this world. There's nobody that doesn't need Yeshuas and Refuas. Nobody. Everybody needs something from the Rebbeinu Shalom. So if you want to be successful and you want to have your tefillas heard and answered, the best way is to always to take upon the mitzvah of Yahavta l'reach kamoicha zeh klal gadol b'Torah. And I want to wish everyone really you should have a wonderful week. And you should have a lechtige Shabbos. And I thank everyone for joining us. Does anyone want to say anything? Does anyone have any questions? Shkoyach to you, Ernie. Any questions or comments you want to say?
Yes, correct. No.
Bye, Baruch Hashem, and Shimon. Anything you want to say?
Okay.
Okay. And Marty, thank you for joining, and everyone else that's listening. Thank you very much, everyone. Kol Tov. We'll meet next week in Mitzvah Hashem, same time, same station. Okay.
Kol Tov.
Kol Tov.